Between Mexico and the United States lies a city crossed by thousands of people every single day. A city often called the bridge between life and death. Tijuana. But behind the bright lights of this city hides a story, one built on wealth, fear, and power. And at the center of that story was one man, Benjamín Arellano Félix. Who was he? A businessman? A mastermind? Or a figure who lived only in the shadows? Today, we uncover the true tale of his rise and his fall. March 12, 1952. Sinaloa, Mexico. Sinaloa was a land of farmlands, dusty roads, and simple lives. Families worked their fields, children grew up with traditions, and the world outside seemed far away. It was here that Benjamin was born, in an ordinary household, into a large family. As a child, Benjamin was quiet and observant. While his brothers played and caused trouble, he often sat silently, watching, thinking. That quality, of speaking less and calculating more, would later become the core of his personality. By the 1970s, Mexico was changing. Border towns became hubs of opportunity. Cross-border trade, both legal and otherwise, was becoming common. It was in this atmosphere that the Arellano Félix brothers took their first small steps into the world of deals and underground trade. At first, it was small, but slowly, doors began to open that would lead them into an entirely different world. With each passing year, the brothers expanded. Benjamin realized something important. Chaos wouldn't last forever. To survive, they needed order, structure, and planning. Unlike many around him, Benjamin thought like a strategist. He wanted a system where every role was defined. Slowly, he began to mold his family into something larger, an organization. They chose the city of Tijuana as their base. Why Tijuana? Because just across the border lay San Diego, California. One side Mexico, the other side the United States. A golden doorway. From this strategic location, they could expand like no one else had before. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, the Arellano Félix family had grown into something the world could no longer ignore. Their organization was now known as the Tijuana Cartel. Benjamin gave the cartel a corporate-like structure. Each brother had a role: operations, communications, finances. And Benjamin, he was the planner, the organizer, the man behind the curtain. Unlike many who relied only on brute force, Benjamin focused on strategy. Every deal was calculated, every step carefully considered. Under his leadership, the Tijuana cartel seized control of vital border routes. Soon, the cartel's influence stretched from Latin America all the way into the United States. The Tijuana border became their fortress. Their control was so strong that, at times, it seemed unshakable. The cartel's reach extended beyond borders. It seeped into the very fabric of local life. For some, their presence brought wealth and opportunity. For others, it was suffocating fear. Businesses operated under pressure, locals whispered quietly, and journalists thought twice before publishing a word. Fear was not just a byproduct of their empire. It was one of its strongest foundations. But as the empire grew, so did the attention. Local forces and international agencies were watching. The United States and Mexico began coordinating more closely than ever. Surveillance increased. Files grew thicker. Undercover operations began. The Arellano Félix family realized they were no longer invisible. Every meeting had to be in secret, every phone call carefully guarded. The walls were closing in. The first cracks came from within. Loyalty was tested. Some associates switched sides. Rivals grew stronger. Technology advanced, and suddenly, financial trails and communication lines could be traced. An empire once thought to be untouchable was showing signs of weakness. Benjamin struggled to keep the balance. He was the planner, but now, the plan seemed harder to hold together. Then came the turning point. In 2002, during a carefully orchestrated operation, Benjamin was captured. For years, he had seemed untouchable. Now, he was in handcuffs. It was a moment that shocked not only the cartel but the world. The strategist, the man behind the curtain, was finally in the hands of law enforcement. After his capture, Trials began. Documents, testimonies, and evidence came forward. Eventually, Benjamin was extradited. In courtrooms far from his homeland, his empire was dissected piece by piece. The result? Conviction. Today, Benjamín Arellano Félix serves his sentence in the United States. Behind prison walls, far from the world he once controlled, he became just another man. But the echoes of his influence still ripple across borders. Benjamin's story is not just about one man. It is about a family that built an empire, a society that felt its weight, and a system that was tested by it. He proved how far organization and strategy could take someone. But he also proved something else, that no matter how strong the empire, when time and law converge, cracks appear, and eventually everything falls. Today, people still ask, what if Benjamin and his brothers had chosen a different path? Would Tijuana have been just another city? Or was it always destined to carry this story in its history?
The case may be closed, but criminology never sleeps. Like and subscribe at Join Criminology and step deeper into the dark with us.